Ferrari is entering the upcoming Grand Prix in China with high expectations after a disastrous Melbourne GP. Vasseur's recent statements have reignited the hopes of the Tifosi to a whole new level. But with the MCL-39 proving to be much more competitive than initially expected, can Ferrari close the gap under the vastly different conditions in China? And if so, can they bring glory back to Maranello? There is no doubt that Ferrari left a lot on the table in Melbourne, especially with ruined tactics and poor strategy. However, the team is not dwelling on these mistakes. Instead, they are focusing on what matters most: improvement and learning. Ferrari's biggest strength is its relentless push for progress. While this approach hasn't always been effective, it's not necessarily a bad thing. Vasseur's statement has reassured Ferrari fans that significant performance gains are expected from the SF-25, starting with the Shanghai GP. Discussing this, the Ferrari team principal said, "In Australia, we didn't see the real Ferrari. In China, we start from scratch." This is definitely a morale booster for Ferrari fans, engineers, and drivers alike. However, this isn't the first time we've heard such optimism from the Ferrari camp. The real question remains, until we see results on track, does any of it matter? Ferrari must deliver a competitive car and a strong driver duo fighting for race wins. Otherwise, all these statements mean little. The number one issue Ferrari must address is tire degradation. They struggled significantly in Melbourne, falling behind Red Bull, McLaren, and even Mercedes. Their troubles stemmed from a lack of grip and excessive tire wear, which prevented them from pushing and making up ground after a disappointing qualifying session. This is why Hamilton spent so much time stuck behind Albon and ultimately failed to get past him. Leclerc even admitted that the team was significantly off the pace on Sunday compared to their initial projections, raising alarm bells about Ferrari's true competitiveness. Ferrari's adaptation to changing conditions is another critical concern. They struggled in Melbourne's unpredictable weather. While China is expected to have stable conditions, even under clear skies, another issue must be addressed: team communication. In one bizarre sequence during the Melbourne GP, Hamilton was told that the rain would not intensify, while Russell was informed that a Class 3 downpour was imminent and would last 2 laps. Despite conflicting information, Ferrari did not split their strategy, choosing to keep both drivers out, a costly mistake. These strategic blunders cannot happen again if Ferrari wants to challenge at the front. This is why F1 fans are cautious about believing Vasseur's optimism. Ferrari has struggled with the same issues for years, and despite entering the 2025 season as favorites alongside McLaren, their P7 and P8 qualifying performance followed by a P8 and P10 race finish was a massive underperformance, especially when a podium was within reach. Of course, the changing conditions in Melbourne made things difficult, but teams like McLaren and Red Bull handled their strategies flawlessly. Norris and Verstappen's teams pitted at the right time and protected their positions, proving that Ferrari's struggles weren't just down to luck. Unlike Australia, China will present a much colder track, with temperatures ranging from 11 degrees Celsius to 26 degrees Celsius throughout the weekend. No rain is expected so far, with mostly sunny conditions and clouds covering the sky on Sunday. This should be Ferrari's primary focus, proving that Melbourne's weather threw them off and that they can bounce back stronger. But until we see real improvement on track, everything else is just speculation and empty talk. The positive? Vasseur is confident in Ferrari's ability to improve significantly for just the second race of the season. In Melbourne, they were arguably behind Red Bull, Mercedes, and McLaren, even though their pace was somewhat on par with Mercedes. But considering the preseason expectations, Ferrari was supposed to be fighting at the front alongside McLaren, not battling Albon and fighting for positions below P5. Like it or not, Ferrari is playing catch-up heading into China. And it's not just McLaren they need to worry about. Red Bull is also ahead. After the Melbourne race, Leclerc commented on the current pecking order, saying, "It was a tricky race overall, but we'll analyze it. It's only the first race of the season. Yes, it wasn't the race we hoped for, but we need to refocus for Shanghai and recover from what was a disappointing first weekend." If you look at McLaren's pace, it was unbelievable. Much stronger than Saturday, for example. We need to look into it, but we are on the back foot. but it's only race one out of... There are many other races ahead, so we need to stay calm and keep working in the right direction. However, Ferrari must be cautious about the new rule change introduced by the FIA. Rear wing flexibility has once again come under scrutiny by the governing body.